Hey there, folks. Take two on this first semifinal. About to take you through this race. I am Professor School. I am joined live in the commentary booth by TG Derp. Derp, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing pretty well. Excited to watch a race between, I think, two really underrated runners in the SM community, Webb and Glove. I think we are going to get a fun best of three between these two. Webb obviously winning Group A, the only undefeated player so far at SGLIVE versus the second seed from Group B, Glove.
Only person to go 4-0 and went 4-0 in a difficult pool, beating both finalists from last year in pool play. Pretty impressive, having some incredible wins, both over Zeb and Audra to get to this point, remaining undefeated. DJ making incredible progress, as we've heard multiple times on commentary. He's done excellent to get to this point. But really, it was almost any of those 10 runners had the capacity to make this semifinal. We had some heavy hitters that were definitely odds-on favorites, I think, for people that might have been betting on this, who did not make it. And I think each and every one of the runners in that Final Four, the other one obviously MM2, Ness Cartridge, and Audra in that other semifinal, all extremely good runners. We have a very good set of semifinals on our hands. This is a best of three. The other semifinal and the final will also be best of three. And we're going to have the opportunity to see how these runners handle it and see what these seeds give us. So we're doing major minor as we have been. Area rando, mystery bosses. Am I missing anything? I think that's just about it.
Yeah, we are doing what's called boss surprise. So the bosses will open the location they're found in. So for example, if you find a non-Phantoon boss in wrecked ship, it will still awaken the ship and allow you to do all of those checks. And the bosses, there isn't necessarily one of each boss, so it's very possible to find multiples of, any of the bosses, Dragon, Ridley, Phantoon, or Kraid. You could see 3 or even 4 of those in this seed. So that is something the runners have to keep in mind. Finding an early Ridley or Dragon doesn't mean they won't run into another one later on, which is definitely interesting. I know some runners have mixed opinions on it. I think the runners here are both generally not huge fans of it, but it is still what the settings are, and they will have to adapt and see what they can do in the seed.
Yeah, it does take out some aspects of strategizing what bosses you have seen, what are coming up, and how you might prepare strategically to deal with a certain set of bosses, or with shuffle, how you open up certain other areas. We will not be worrying about that in this particular instance. There is some information. We had an interesting seed that we raced where there was all 4 reserve tanks showed up, and that actually tells you something about the boss distribution. Obviously, Phantoon doesn't have an item behind that boss that locks it, whereas Ridley, Dragon, and Kraid will all have an item behind there, so the item pool can get reshuffled just a little bit. And we have one addition. Obviously, Dash has been known for a couple interesting tweaks here and there. We've seen some sort of those half suits, right? Pressure valve and heat shield, those are not making an appearance in this tournament, but double jump, which is that single-use item of space jump, is actually in the item pool here, and we've seen some of our runners use it to great effect. So we'll see if that shows up and actually has a role in this set of races. This is our best of 3 once again. This is DJ Webb first place from one pool, Glove second place from the other pool. These are the 2 of the 4 remaining runners of the 10 total that we had in this tournament.
Yeah, and going back to your point with double jump being added, that's actually why the 4th reserve gives information, because usually a reserve is taken out of the pool to have enough majors to fit in double jump. But if you find that 4th reserve, that means there's another major item in the seed, which would mean there is no Phantoon and all 4 bosses have items behind them. So, like you said, that is a bit of information that the runners could find if that situation comes up again. I think it's happened a couple times in my practice races, and obviously ended up happening again in our race last night. So it's fairly rare, but it could happen. So we'll see.
Yeah, fairly rare to happen, and fairly rare also, even rarer, I would say, to happen at a point before you see all the bosses, to where that information actually winds up being at least somewhat useful. All right, so we got early power bombs. At least for me, I don't know about you, Derp, I always like seeing those early power bombs and making sure that I know I can do that retro Bryn check, not leaving behind that portal sort of all the way at the bottom here, very difficult to get.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. I think most runners like having early power bombs to not isolate that meme route portal. Space Jump also an item that it's another item that some people are kind of mixed on, but having the early movement option is definitely a good thing for the seed. I think most people will agree that hitting it early is generally a good start.
Yeah, I mean, it immediately opens up safety of doing things like an early X-ray check without the sort of trickier tech to get there. It can really help a lot with hell runs in particular. There's some of those heated rooms that just getting through them. Oh boy, that's unfortunate for Glove. Fortunately, there is usually a 1 power bomb leeway going in and out of this check, but that's a little unfortunate. So if they do not commit to this portal, you're not going to be able to see Glove, for example, check Mother Brain missiles on the way up if they shouldn't find supers.
Yeah, it doesn't end up mattering because we find red towers, so both the runners are going to be following this. But yeah, without super missiles, that old Mother Brain check it probably would have been done by D-Web, and had that been a super, Glove could have been without it for a while. We actually see an early Croc, but we don't actually have the ammo to defeat Croc right now, so both runners just going to bail on this, potentially come back later, although I find a lot of the time if you leave a Croc, you usually don't end up coming back, but we'll see how it ends up routing for them.
Is this Croc not technically in logic? I think I was reading the logic tree and it said, I mean, you'd know better as a dash dev, but my understanding from the logic tree is that any 2 missile or super packs in combination actually do put Croc into logic.
I believe you need equivalent of 10 supers. I would have to double check. But we actually saw both runners failing the the tube break to get to the top door, and both actually got the backup jump on the way up. Unfortunately, I believe that was back of Rex ship that we saw. Mm-hmm. So not something we want to follow yet.
Yeah, but really interesting to see both runners miss on that little bootless grab jump and have to do the much more difficult, I don't know the frame window on that specifically, but it is much more difficult to have to do that running gravity jump through the tube there.
It's definitely tight. I don't know. I also don't know the frame window, but really cool that both runners were able to get it first try.
Yeah,
you don't see that can cause a lot of trouble if you aren't able to get it quickly. Looks like both runners are going to be doing this X-ray check. They couldn't check Spazer without those super missiles, since that is a super missile door, but the X-ray door is just a missile door, which they're able to open right now, and the space jump will get them across without any E-tanks, so Glove doesn't need to be a little careful. The spikes do 60 damage, which is a 2-hit KO at the moment.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure if Glove was intending to take that damage off that first Firefly. Probably not. But if she wasn't, I was actually a little worried because you do actually need 2 power bombs here, unless you want to do something much slower when you get to the item. There's a way to actually run up into a midair morph to check the item.
D-Web.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I think they both saved for this, so dying here wouldn't be the end of the world, but...
No, but it's a pretty substantial time loss.
And it's just an E-tank, which is honestly kind of a relief for both runners at this point.
Yeah, interesting. If you look at both of their camps, both of them sort of shaking their heads a little frustrated. At this point, I don't know if it's nerves or what. I mean, you see Gloves doing what I was suggesting, trying to save that extra power bomb. I'm not sure it's really worth it in this case because you can just farm the Fireflies on the way back out. But that's the tech I was talking about. If you're down to 0 power bombs, you need to do kind of a tricky little midair morph to squeeze in that 1 tile hole there.
Yeah, no, it's something that comes up a decent amount in map rando, actually, getting that little jump. I don't know if it's in hard logic, which is what most people play on, but it's definitely something that has come up, and I would agree that it's not really necessary here because of the Firefly farms. We're also noticing because D-Web picked up the E-tank during the PB explosion, he still has the health alarm going off, even though he has plenty of health at this point, so we'll see if he ever wants to pause just to get rid of the alarm or not. It is obviously a time commitment to pause, but looks like D-Web's just rocking with it at the moment. Fortunately, doesn't get the tricky space jump up Red Tower. It's a lot easier with Screw Attack if you're able to kill all those Rippers to do the little space jump there. Glove actually going back down. I wonder what this is.
Is that just for the save, potentially, to chase a portal here?
Yeah.
But there's a save at the top of Red Tower if you really wanted to do that, right?
Yeah, and some people will take that save before going up here because you need a power bomb to actually get back out, but Glove already has power bombs, so I'm a little confused about that. We actually saw, I believe that was bottom of Green Bryn from the first portal that D-Web checked. Obviously, he's going to go check the other portal up here, up the elevator, to not isolate this, because if he follows Green Bryn, there's a chance he just never gets back here. And ends up finding Moat with the super
And there's
missile.
the super pack, okay.
Definitely going to be good. I would imagine D-Web also checks the other portal over here on the side of Criteria.
Yeah, with Space Jump, it's so easy to get back across the moat that I think it's perfectly worth it. And then I expect DJ to go back into Green Bryn.
Most likely. The only question is if you find like a business center here, top of Upper Norfair, you might be inclined to check those two items before going into Green Bryn, but we do see Croc entry, which is not something you want to follow on this low health. D-Web trying to get a couple more power bombs. Unfortunately, missed the crab, and the super impact knocked all the crabs off their perches and down to the floor.
Do you remember middle of Red Tower? I think I missed that. Well, there was a low health situation on one of our runner screens. The other one got to that middle of Red Tower portal first.
It was front of LN.
Front of LN.
According to our lovely tracker, Jester Duke's been doing pretty much all the tracking for this tournament so far. Shoutouts to Jestro. So now we are headed into Green Bryn. There is one more portal to check before doing all the Green Bryn item checks. And again, if that's Business Center, we'll probably see the runners follow that before Green Bryn, I'd imagine, but I wouldn't be surprised either way. And obviously that's a big if. There's still a lot of portals left.
That hopper's worse than King Cac there. That first hopper coming up Green Hill Zone is pretty trollish, and it can be really difficult to get through not getting that hit.
Yeah, this room is deceptively annoying to get up going right to left.
It really is.
There's a lot of there's a lot of enemies that jump right at you pretty much because you're not really supposed to go through the room this way, so you kind of just get jump scared off screen. We actually find the other side of Criteria, so D-Web at least going to get this major here at Terminator. Might go all the way to Bomb Torizo to get that major as well. This is probably the best chance you're going to have to grab it.
Mm-hmm.
Although with those bombs, it means you will have to actually do the fight. So that probably doesn't impact things, but that could genuinely be what sends you the other way, not having to do the 20-second extra boss fight. D-Web does need to be a bit careful about his health. He's going to get to farm these Kagos over here, checking the left side of this half of Criteria.
Honestly, I think DJ just wanted to get that health alarm back on. It had gone off, and I think
he was missing it.
He was missing it.
It's been too long. Game sounds so empty without it.
Oh, very interesting.
Looks like D-Web's actually going to check the Meridian map portal. This is a bit of a detour. D-Web is also going to do this, though.
I always struggle with this. I like the idea of the portal knowledge here. Oh, gosh, it's just such a strangely placed save station. If you don't hit it right away, you get hit by that crab. Yeah, so both runners going to be checking it. I don't know. It's like you get the portal knowledge, but you don't necessarily want to leave behind Green Bryn in this situation.
Yeah, you're not leaving behind. You're almost certainly going to reset this, unless this is exactly top of Green Bryn.
Yeah.
That's interesting, but again, with no way out, I don't think you're checking those items. I would imagine we see double reset out of that. Glove might actually check the other portal.
I think the reset there from DJ is just a little bit too quick-fingered on the reset. You want to at least get, if you're going to come all this way for portal information, you might as well get this portal as well.
And it is top of Green Bryn.
Yeah,
so
that's really interesting.
I might, because of that portal location, I might have actually been inclined to do the business center checks. Mm-hmm. Although you're probably going to just, check everything in Green Bryn and go back to Business Center. So the more that I think about it, the more this play from Glove is better. And it's going to benefit D-Web even more, just routing bottom to top Green Bryn and then ending at Business Center. There's our double jump, which is not going to do anything with the space jump.
Yeah, I think this does favor D-Web just a little bit here, especially depending on how many tanks or other items that you find. This is potentially going to allow, if DJ finds some tanks and speed, for example, going through those business center checks is going to be easier and potentially even allows you to immediately go over and route very nicely into Bubble Mountain area.
Yeah, the bigger thing would actually be finding speed somewhere In Greenbryn. Like, if it was at Edekun's, for example, then Glove routes in Waterway really nicely, whereas D-Web would have to go back for it. And it could get a little bit awkward. Obviously, if speed is just here, it's not too bad to just go back down Big Pink for the check. But once again, that's a pretty big if. It's a one item, and we still haven't seen a lot. Well, there it is. So D-Web just going to be able to do that check right away.
Yeah, way to call that, Derp.
I guess I called it.
If anyone knows where all the items are for every single seed that could possibly be rolled, I would expect it to be one of the Dash devs.
I mean...
Do you not just keep that memory banked?
It's random. They can all go anywhere. That's technically how the randomizer works. It just places everything and checks if it's beatable. So anything can be anywhere, as long as it's doable. So I didn't see what Glove found at Edekun's. I think it was just another E-Tank. So both runners will have at least 3 at the end of their adventures.
Oh, wow.
And a Various suit. That's actually really big, especially, you know, because you're following Upper Norfair after this. So
yeah,
that Various suit is going to speed things up a lot.
There's a chance here that Glove could potentially just orphan that item getting speed where she will and just deciding to go out the other end.
I don't think so.
No?
I think you want to check everything in Big Pink here. So, you know, Glove will get the speed booster over here at Wavegate, and then we'll probably check both Charge and Waterway. I'd be surprised if she skipped this.
Oh, that's right. No, it was at Wavegate. Yep.
Yeah. So
yeah, no, the issue would be is if it was on the other side of Greenbryn.
you need to get the clip. Got a second try, it looks like. I wonder, actually, I don't think it is. I wonder if it ends up being faster for Glove to actually go across the left side of Criteria and back down Meridian Map to get to Business Center. That might end up being a little bit faster than going back up Greenbryn.
Gives you the option to make that bombs check should you want to.
True. I don't think you're really too worried about that, though. You're really only looking for gravity at this point because you have Varia and speed. So, you know, once you get gravity, you can traverse anywhere on the map. And then you would just need either ammo or charge and at least one other beam, and then you're good to go. So I don't really think the Bomb Chorizo check is something you really care about at this point because it can't be gravity. So obviously, you know, it could be charge, it could
best
be
case scenario is
ice.
charge ice, probably, right?
Or high jump. That's also really good, potentially. But
maybe you're more disincentivized having already picked up bombs. The length of time of that check has increased quite considerably.
yeah, that plus the fact that gravity is so much better than every other item you can find, and it has Bomb Chorizo can't be gravity because a suit can't be in Criteria. So I don't think you're ever going back there unless you have to cross Criteria to get somewhere, which I don't think is something that's going to happen because you can actually like dip into the bottom half of Greenbryn, and then that will take you to the top of Red Tower, and that takes you to the other half of Criteria, which might be maybe with speed crossing Criteria is faster, but either way, I don't think we're checking Bomb Chorizo.
Oh, very nice clip there from Glove. You'll see that 100% vanilla, saving the extra power bomb.
Yeah, she did have bombs, but still a cool clip. Something that is, it's actually not super hard doing that kind of clip, but
you're just doing it blindly.
Yeah,
there.
specifically that one is hard because you're doing it blind. So really impressive for Glove, for sure. So we actually end up being pretty much synced up. Glove climbing back up Greenbryn. D-Web is just finishing up his Greenbryn checks, a little bit behind, but both runners at basically the same spot, heading back into what will end up being, Glove knows what it is, but D-Web hasn't seen it yet, but what ends up being Business Center.
It's 3 tanks and speed, no problem for this ice check. So I expect to see the ice check first here, and then maybe you hope for an E-tank at high jump for that free refill.
Well, your health doesn't really matter with the Varia suit, so you're able to do all these checks pretty comfortably.
Oh my goodness, they have Varia.
It feels like there have not been a lot of early Vargas seeds in this tournament.
Yeah, I'm so used to all the seeds that we played, just having to plan for that suitless ice check.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see what we can find over here. Both runners opting to do the ice check first, and they do get an E-tank, which, again, doesn't matter too much, but it's still nice to have a little bit more energy. You're not going to turn down a tank just yet.
Just a reminder here, folks, this is the first game in our best of 3 in our first semifinal. MM2 and Audra not yet on the schedule, but we will have that one coming to you next, and then we expect the finals will be tomorrow. Again, a best of 3 series on that one.
So I am interested to see, I would imagine with Very, you're probably doing all the Bubble Mountain checks after all this. And then there are 2 more portals on the other side of Criteria we haven't seen. We have not seen Single Chamber or Chronic Room. So we also haven't seen, I mean, I guess we've seen back of Wreck Ship in front of LN, but those are the 2 halves of those boss areas that you don't want to follow.
Right.
So we haven't really seen a great entrance to a boss area yet. So we'll see when we're able to find one of those.
Yeah, and to your earlier point, I'd be even more incentivized in this case to clear Green Bryn because of speed. Just really makes that a lot nicer. And Space Jump. Like, all the movement items that you have here make those checks much, much faster.
You mean clear Bubble Mountain?
What did I say? Yeah, clear
I think
Bubble
you said
Mountain.
Green Bryn. But
Sorry, excuse me.
yeah, speed.
Bubble Mountain.
Speed does speed up the, it speeds up the speed booster check, funny enough, because there's a long hallway. So, like, that check alone speed saves 10, 15 seconds,
without
maybe.
high jump, Space Jump does a really nice job helping you navigate this Bubble Mountain area.
Yeah, that is another issue with this area, is that the movement can be kind of awkward without high jump or space jump, but they had the space jump right away, so they were able to, or they will be able to just get to all of the ledges they need to get up to pretty easily. Glove also opted to pick up that ammo here at Bubble Mountain first. Looks like D-Webb is doing the same. 40 supers for D-Webb already. I don't know where he got an extra super pack. But ammo already looking pretty good.
Did DJ check behind Edekun's item and Glove didn't, maybe? I can't remember.
Maybe? I don't know.
I can't think of where else it would have come from.
That does seem like one of the only places I can think of that one person would check and the other would skip. Maybe it was at like the top of early supers and Glove got the mock ball out and we just missed it. So we just see another E-tank, unfortunately. Still haven't found any big items here in Upper Norfair. Just got a couple of tanks and that grapple beam, which could matter without gravity suit, but isn't going to do us a ton of good in this area.
One of the things I find most awkward about Bubble Mountain is when you have these 3 portals that are all pretty far apart from each other, frankly. With Space Jump, it's a little easier to get back and forth between Croc Portal and Chronic Boost, but the Single Chamber and Croc Portal, or Chronic Boost, are pretty far apart. How do you handle that normally? I mean, coming into Green Bryn here, I'm sort of tempted sometimes to just go down and check one of those portals first to get some information if I want to follow the other one out, but I guess it's a little bit of a gamble one way or another.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit awkward. With this loadout, obviously Croc Entry and Chronic are fairly close to each other, but we already know what Croc Entry is, and we don't really want to go back there just yet.
No.
So
it's kind of awkward, right? Because if you go wave check here and you go wave to Single Chamber and want to follow that, you could potentially be orphaning that Chronic Boost portal. That's always my concern in this situation, but maybe it's just too slow to check Chronic Portal first before doing these item checks.
Yeah, I would definitely do the checks before doing any portal checks, and then since you're ending on the wave, you probably just go into Single Chamber, and then at this point, you're probably not finding something you really want to follow. Like, maybe you find a boss area, but you don't... Like, if you find a Wreck Ship or an LN, you already know where the other side of that is, and you don't need to follow it. And without gravity, you're not going into East or West Meridia, so the odds of you just following down a path at Single Chamber in this situation are pretty low.
Yeah. Although interestingly, if you find top of West Meridia with gravity with a grapple, you are logically able to get across to that pre-aqueduct portal.
Yeah, you aren't able to get back out is the issue, but it's definitely something I would probably check, like save at Redfish. Well, that
Sure,
spring well actually gets you out, so.
Yeah, there you go. Right, because it could be like front of wreck ship, for example, which could be pretty useful.
Yeah, and then getting that out of the way might end up being really big with how this is starting to route.
Yeah, because that gravity is hiding somewhere.
Yeah, it could be at that croc we saw early on. Either runner has really had an opportunity to go back to that, or the Spazer check, which wasn't accessible because of no super missiles. So 3 items down there that we have not seen, and it's kind of awkward to route back into. So we'll see how the runners end up handling that.
Yeah, that's right. With our major minor split here, unlike Choza, there's 2 major locations that these runners left behind in Croc. And then, of course, the Spazer that Dirt pointed out. Kind of awkward movement again. We've been talking about it for a while in this whole Bubble Mountain Upper Norfair area. This is one of those areas where speed and no high jump makes it particularly awkward getting over some of these pillars. You see both of our runners struggling with that in both directions. Definitely one of the more frustrating places to not have high jump when you have speed.
Yeah, it's definitely an annoying combination of movement items. Obviously, they're both super helpful, but the smaller jumps can really mess you up. And this room in particular is so annoying because it's really hard to correctly get enough speed to clear the pillars or the little statues.
Yeah, there's very precise presses and releases of dash to fall within a very narrow acceptable window of speed that you need. Even with space jump here, it's just awkward. Anyway, you cut it.
Well, both runners were able to make it through. Glove is still in a slight lead heading into this chronic portal check, which at this point pretty much has to be something good, right?
Yeah, what was single chamber front of East Meridia?
Yeah, well, it was aqueduct. So we do find the front of ship, and again, we've already seen the back, so we don't need to go check that. And
nice super pack find there for Glove.
The super is nice. Every boss is technically beatable. Dragon is out of logic. You would have to do the high jump list grapple escape, and then even if you do kill Dragon, none of the items here in ship can be gravity, so it kind of incentivizes you to just leave either way. But we'll see if either runner is able to do that. We'll see if that's even the case. We don't know what boss it is yet, of course. Webb actually skipped the super under the ocean, so
maybe just planning on getting it on the way out.
Probably, since you are planning on going out that way, most likely.
Yeah, and the ammo consideration is a little bit different. Glove was just on 31 supers, I think, or 32 entering, where you're going to use a bunch of those supers to get through these doors. DJ on 38, not necessarily needing those supers. And with, what, 5+1? It's a tight Ridley fight, but it's doable.
Yeah, I mean, you have plenty of supers to kill Ridley here, but obviously you need to be careful. This should be enough health that these runners will be able to deal with it, no problem, if that's the case. Which it looks like it is Vanilla Phantoon. A little disappointing maybe, because that's one less item check, but
it does open up an interesting decision here about how long these runners opt to stay in ship before leaving.
Yeah, with the speed booster, you're technically able to check all of the items in wreck ship, but I would imagine... Well, I'm trying to think, how many spots are left for gravity to be? I guess you can...
Well, there's the 2 in Croc, there's Spazer still, right?
Yeah, there's those 3. There's the 4 in ship, and then if any of those are high jump...
It could open up Mama Turtle location as well, right?
Yeah, high jump would open up Mama Turtle, and it would open up front of LN. So then all of those items would be in play as well.
Ooh. Little unfortunate there on the disappear, but a fast reappear at least for DJ.
Yeah, a little bit awkward. Neither runner really having the Phantoon fight they were hoping for, but looks like D-Webb is a bit faster, judging by the Phantoon color. Yeah, pulls ahead slightly with that one ammo skip under the ocean, which, again, is kind of a fake lead since I would imagine D-Webb goes down to get that on the way out. But with that and a slightly faster Phantoon has taken a slight lead.
actually kind of interesting to see just how linear it's been in terms of once the routing reconverged, these runners are neck and neck and doing pretty much the same thing at the same time. So I'll be very interested to see how long they decide to stay in this wreck chip. As you pointed out, they can check all 4 items. If the answer is here and you skip it, it could potentially be a problem.
Yeah, and again, barring a high jump find, there are 7 possibilities for gravity. So, I mean, fairly likely that we'll find it here. That's what I'm trying to get at. Screw attack is okay, especially if you do find a high jump and want to make an LN play. Still haven't found a beam, unless you count grapple. It is technically grappling beam, if you want to.
It is in the name.
It is in the name. Still looking for ammo, though, of course.
Getting pretty close.
Yeah, we're already fairly close. D-Webb.
And with that extra super pack, D-Webb's actually going to be at 50-50.
Yeah, so that's almost enough just to beat the game.
A couple super packs or a few missiles away without having to do any refills at Turian.
I don't know how comfortable D-Webb is with speed zeb skip, though. Although, technically with this much ammo, you wouldn't need to do speed skip. You could break the zebs and refill. But that is very slow. And so...
Okay, so Glove opting to go check the 2 items at top of ship first and see what they are.
I kind of like this, actually, because Glove is planning on potentially routing back of ship back down to the bottom of Red Tower for the Croc and the Spazer check.
Yep.
So the movement is a little bit tricky without high jump, but with space jump you are able to get across. There's gravity, so that just ends up playing really well for D-Webb unless... I don't know what can be up here for Glove, honestly. The reserve tank's not going to help. And maybe a high jump here would be nice, but...
Yeah, high jump ice maybe, but high jump are going to be much more powerful. Ice just saving time in Turian.
Yeah, this is really big for D-Webb. And again, I like the play for Glove, but does mean she's going to do some extra techs. D-Webb's going to get to skip out on those, save a couple minutes. And then, again, with this much ammo, both suits and charge, and speed, rather, this is enough to beat the game. Didn't quite get the space jump out of that, unfortunately.
All right, so I expect we'll see DJ go straight to front of East Meridia here.
That does make the most sense. You kind of want to check the back of East to try to find, like, if there's a Kraid there. We're still looking for Kraid's lair.
And Turian.
Yeah, Kraid's lair and Turian. Obviously, finding Turian there would kind of suck, given that you would have to then backtrack out and then go back at the end, but... I don't know what your other option... Your other option is, like, go back to the elevator to Meridia map and then check the other 2 portals in West for full portal knowledge, which might be what D-Webb is doing, actually. Going this way. I think I like this overall. Just get as close to full knowledge as you can. Unless the top 2 West Meridia portals connect to each other, this will give you full map knowledge. It's a nice spazer here for Glove. It's actually not nice at all, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's really,
yeah,
really
falling in the ocean there is really tough. It's a pretty big detour to get back out, and then I would imagine Glove is still going for that wreck ship E-tank check.
Yeah, we'll find that grab and then probably won't route out the back. It doesn't make as much sense at this point for those Croc and Spazer checks. So it's just going to be a straight time loss, unfortunately, both with the top item checks in wreck ship and then getting this item later and having to turn back around. A little unfortunate for Glove. Yeah, and as you pointed out, Dirt, we're going to get this left side business center check. Expect to see DJ go all the way to the top, the pre-aqueduct and redfish portals. And we'll see what those are. Still outstanding are those dead ends, Kraid and Turian.
Yep, I believe We, again, unless the two wreck ship portals, or two West Meridia portals connect to each other, we are guaranteed to see at least one of them, because they can't connect to each other. Glove not seem very happy about that gravity.
Yeah.
Obviously doing everything else in wreck ship before going back there.
Yeah, and from the visible reaction, I think that she just knows.
I don't love this check from D-Web, by the way.
Yeah,
this
I'm not sure
close
exactly
to
what
having
DJ's
the
looking
FAMA.
for on sort of real full go mode here.
I mean, I think it's really just Ice Beam for a more comfortable Zeb skip. But
I mean, there is a minor here, so it maybe justifies the check somewhat, but I agree with you. I think there's so many other places, in LN, for example, items in the same room that you're just going to run into to get the ammo that you need, that this is really unnecessary. There's still tons of tanks outstanding. There's a lot of beams that don't really help you all that much. I'm not really sure that the odds are that that's going to be a useful check.
Yeah, I think it's pretty low, because again, you really only care about Ice Beam, and then like high jump is nice to have, obviously, but it's still not something you want to go out of your way for. D-Web didn't even check the super at Mount Everest. There's Crazy Lair, by the way, so here's one of our bosses, one of our dead ends. But yeah, didn't check Crab Supers, as far as I can tell. It's another missile here, so we're one missile from technically having enough to beat the game. This glove. It looks like she's going to do like a front to back LN potentially. Was obviously headed this direction to potentially check all of the items at the bottom of Red Tower, but now that she's go mode, those checks are not really necessary. She did get another super at the top of Wreck Ship, so is up to 55, only needs one more missile pack.
This could potentially route really nicely for Glove if the back of LN goes into Meridia, but if it dead ends at Turian, this is going to be really, really unfortunate for Glove.
Yeah, I think the best case for Glove is actually that the back of LN is at Pre-Aqueduct at the last West Meridia portal, because then she gets to route nicely into Kraid, and then from there go down West Meridia into Upper Norfolk, and then go into East.
Front of East Meridia straight into Turian. Yep,
Yeah.
that would be the ideal routing situation here that could actually put Glove back in this despite the extra checks and wreck ship.
I think in exactly that case, Glove is actually in the lead. But
I think that's correct, yeah.
Yeah, either of the other portals here at Pre-Aqueduct, which we'll see in just a minute from D-Web, I think D-Web's comfortably in a good position.
Yeah, with back of East Meridia being definitely worse, but not awful, and Turian being just a total disaster here, I think, for Glove.
Well, there's that Ice Beam, so D-Web gets exactly what he's looking for, and I think now we'll see him stop checking majors. That's going to speed up Turian a pretty good amount, too, because I would imagine Glove does not check that when she gets there. So just great item. Going to give you the Zeb skip, give you the easy Metroid kills.
Yep. Yeah, it's probably, it's not quite a minute, but it's probably like a good 40-45 second save in Turian for a 15-second item check. And Glove's good now on 50-60. I guess technically you still need to open one red door?
I think with this you can technically do it without refilling.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But it might end up like, because you don't have a good baby skip, so you might end up like breaking the first door anyways, since you're going to refill anyways.
Yeah, just give you a little bit more leeway.
Yeah.
Don't expect either runner to be fighting high jump at this point.
Probably not. That is back of East, so that is the worst case for Glove. There is a Turian back here, and that is going to be a bit of a disaster, unfortunately.
Yeah, that compounded with the routing decision on Wreck Ship, I think is going to lead to a pretty comfortable DJ advantage going into Turian. Really just going to need to execute through that Mother Brain fight without disaster.
Yeah, we do see another vanilla boss here, actually. It's Ridley is at home. I believe Dragon was at Crate's Lair, if I saw that correctly. I was not really paying attention to what DJ was doing at that time.
Nice quick fight for Glove.
She is going to check back here. See what we find. Just an E-Tank. See if D-Webb wants to check the Aqueduct miners while he's here. He's close enough that he doesn't have to, but it is, you know, 2 ammo checks that are fairly quick. So depending on how much D-Webb wants to pick up.
I think I'm fine leaving those behind, especially like you still have LN in front of you, and there's some pretty easy ammo checks.
Yeah.
There's also Precious, which is pretty fast.
Yeah, the back of LN has a couple of really quick ones, and then like PBs of Shame is pretty quick as well. And I think at least one of those was a super. I want to say Glove found a super there at PBs of Shame.
Yeah, I think that those are just going to be faster checks.
Yeah.
Not having to stop to do that short charge to fall through those crumble blocks. I like this decision.
For sure. I would have actually liked the save for Glove there to like reset out of if you hit a Turian.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think Glove knows if this is Turian, it's kind of over, unfortunately. Like, there have not been a lot of opportunity for divergence until now, and unless she's assuming D-Webb did the same thing, which we know he did not, she will know how bad this is.
Yeah, unfortunately. I expect we're going to see a pretty unhappy reaction just here in a moment. In other words, on the other side, it's going to route really, really nicely for DJ, who's going to go in the front of LN and come out the back, having completed that 4th and final boss.
Yeah, you just take the front of East out, and then I believe there's the Kruk entry portal puts you back into Red Tower. Right?
It'll do it through Crab Portal to Moat. Yep.
Right.
So it's 1 extra step, but it's just a few extra seconds. Yeah, and so we're now going to see this backtrack from Glove. It's a really fast seed here from DJ. This time is going to be really good.
And we do see one of each boss. Here's our final boss in the Crade. Kind of funny to see that.
Yeah, and we did see DJ pick up a super pack there. A little unfortunate here. Taking Crade to prom, maybe? Or are we going to get the cleanup? Yeah, nice cleanup. Good backup from DJ. Nicely done. Yeah, we saw DJ pick up a super pack at Precious there.
Yeah, that's definitely enough now.
Yeah.
You'd still probably do, like, the Hodarubi check. That one missile, since it's just like a 1 second run over to that side of the room.
Just peek it and come back.
And I mean, imagine D-Webb picks up that missile.
I think you do, and then with speed alone, you're not doing a Zeb or a baby skip here, so you'll probably pre-open that first door, and then DJ will have a 15 missile leeway. 60-55 is enough without pre-opening any of the doors. If DJ does that check, we'll be at 70, and then pre-opening one of the red doors will be 15 missiles or 5 supers of leeway, which is pretty comfortable, honestly, especially at this level.
Yeah, and I would imagine D-Webb feels really good about this route. Obviously, it's hard to say. It's hard to really ever feel good about a route, because there's always that one thing you can think of, like, oh, if my opponent did this crazy this crazy route, they're 10 minutes ahead. But I would imagine D-Webb feels pretty good with everything he's found. So I think he will be willing to take the extra couple safeties.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you're in a bad ammo hunt here, you feel really bad about potentially like missing a charge at first croc checker or something like that. But with all of the supers that the Seeds has given you, I think you're just not worried about it. Glove still checking ammo. You saw her leaving behind a super pack there. What we're really having here is a search for that 3rd power bomb pack, since she does not have ice. Wanting to make sure she doesn't need to reset Metroid rooms.
Yeah, just another spot where the ice beam will give D-Webb a pretty sizable advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, and this is exactly what Derp was talking about before. Go down to this croc entry portal, spit you out into Criteria and then get you across from moat, those right side moat portals over into Red Tower. Towards the front of LN, and as we already know, Turian at the back, so this is going to route straight through for DJ. We'll be passing go and collecting $200.
Yeah, things are coming up D-Webb at the moment. Just needs to make his way through LN and then through Turian.
Well, barring execution in Turian, this is squarely DJ's race, but we will remind folks this is a best-of-3 series, unlike all of the other best-of-1s that we've had throughout pool play, so this is not over by any means for Glove. We'll be a little bit behind the 8-ball, and we'll need to win 2 races after this, assuming DJ can hold on, but it is by no means over. DJ missing an opportunity for, I think, the most fun moonfall in the game there, with the screw attack moonfall all the way through that part of Red Tower.
It's like all of the ledges on the top of Red Tower are bomb blocks, so the screw attack just breaks through all of them. You can basically drop all the way to the X-ray door.
Yeah, in fact, in some cases, you have to be really careful. If you want to go through middle of Red Tower, you have to hug that wall so you don't actually fall down further than you want to.
Yeah.
One of the rare times using moonfall could technically lose you time if you were too aggressive.
Nice job there from D-Webb, reducing lag by killing those pirates. Little thing there. Yeah, Glove will have the slight benefit of not needing to go to the back of East. You know, we'll just be able to go front to front, get the boss done, and then come back out. But we'll still need to go all the way through LN. Doesn't need to go down to that boss, obviously, but still need to go all the way back to the area and then all the way through it. Glove looked like she was setting up for an ice clip. Remembered that she has speed and not ice. See the Spatoon fights.
A little short of the 1 round.
Yeah, I think just 1 super short.
There it is. A nice little screw attack at the end just to avoid the damage. Clever little use of screw attack from the runners. DJ reducing lag in that LN, Glove avoiding an extra hit on Batoon.
Yeah, you really think of screw attack as just a safety item, but especially in LN where there's all these big enemies that cause a lot of lag. Glove, I think, was going for a high jumpless halfie. Unfortunately, he didn't quite get the wall jumps. But yeah, like the amount of lag reduction you can get with screw attack by killing all the enemies is actually, I mean, obviously it's only a couple seconds, but it's still a solid amount of time you gain back in the area just for having screw.
Over the course of an hour, these sorts of things, uses of double jump, uses of, plasming through enemies, screw attack. If you're saving a handful of frames in all of these rooms, you could potentially save 20-30 seconds over the course of a run. We've seen some races be pretty tight. This sort of stuff matters at the highest level.
And Glove's actually entering this boss with pretty low ammo. Good news is it won't end up being Ridley, but if it was, she was actually in for a pretty long fight where I think she would have to use quite a few power bombs, depending on if they double hit or not.
Yeah, 21 supers short there, or excuse me, 11 supers short of what you'd need.
Yeah, and you'd make up 9
missiles
back with the missiles.
Yep.
So you'd have to use a few power bombs. But fortunately, it's just a Dragon, or Kraid rather. So Glove's able to get through it quickly.
And there's our final dead boss. Little nod from DJ. I think you're right, Dirk. He's got to be feeling very, very good about this routing. You always feel a little bit unsure in these seeds when the answer hasn't presented itself. By the time you get to wrecked ship, at least for me.
Yeah, I actually forgot. Glove hasn't done Kraid Slayer yet. So fortunately, that is on the way. Well, for the most part. Actually, is it? It's a bit awkward to get back to. Actually, yeah, that's why she's going to the back of East, because this route's back into West Meridia, and then...
Yeah, that's better than going all the way through Upper Norfair, which is what you'd have to do, getting spit out into the right side of Bubble Mountain from the front of East Meridia.
Yeah.
So she's making all the right decisions just from a strategic standpoint, but from sort of a luck standpoint, I think, you know, the placement of gravity just really sunk this for her.
Yeah, unfortunately, the routing just didn't work out. Both the decision to check the top of ship before E-Tank, and then the decision to go to back of ship and then front of LN.
Yeah.
And then hitting Turian there.
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine a situation where gravity is still in ship, but is at vanilla location. And actually, it really benefits Glove there, who'd go find that first and then route back through to the check at the back of of wrecked ship. It just didn't work out, unfortunately. DJ was able to grab that and just dip out immediately.
I mean, I think the best case item-wise was, you know, gravity just not being at ship and being at Croc or Spazer, so Glove would have gotten to that a lot faster, but even then, I think Glove ends up following Lower Norfair and hitting Turian, so I think that was really the big moment in this race where D-Webb pulled ahead. Yeah, D-Webb about to come up on Turian. We'll get the full refill on the elevator, of course.
And did pick up that Hoderuben missile, as you pointed out, so at 70-55.
Yep, gonna be more than enough.
Yeah, and almost certainly will pre-open that first red door after not getting this kind of awkward speed Zeb skip that you can, or baby skip, which you could theoretically do.
With this much ammo, I wouldn't be surprised either way, but yeah, I would expect D-Webb to open the first door.
Yeah, it costs you, what, a second or two to pre-open that door?
Well, you have to do another refill, so that actually takes a few seconds.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
It's not a huge deal. And it gives you a lot more safety.
Yeah, having 5 supers leeway instead of 3 is pretty big.
One of the Metroids not cooperating. I might have picked up that super, I won't lie. Just to be extra safe. I've been burned by Metroid drops too much.
Yeah, DJ actually playing this pretty aggressively, using all supers here, no grouping. But is fine at 70-55, full up, going into his final Metroid room.
Yeah, I'd expect you use missiles on these because you're grouping them all up. Yeah. Okay. So D-Webb also chose to keep the screw attack on. Could have turned that off down the elevator, but chose to keep it on to damage down for the baby skip, as it were.
Could turn it off on the refill if he wanted to.
I would expect that's what he does. I think that's what I ended up doing in our race last night, was like turning off the screw attack during the first refill, and then because pausing during a refill allows you to move before the refill's over, you can actually run over to the second refill
right.
and save even more time.
Well, if you're really quick, you can actually get across without actually having the first refill message pop up on the screen. And you can do both within the same span and only have the message pop up once, which ends up saving about a second, I think.
All right, gonna break that first door like you mentioned.
Yeah, so it'll be 15 missiles or 5 supers of leeway here. Tons of leeway here for D-Webb. Should be a very comfortable fight.
Nice and quick refills. Glove, meanwhile, has taken down her last boss, is now headed back to Turian, but still has a ways to go to get there, unfortunately. Like you mentioned, this is a really good time from D-Webb. Going to be around a 55-ish minute time, like a high 55, low 56.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can sub-hour one of these major minor area rando seeds, I think you're feeling pretty good.
Having a bit of trouble on that. Zeb skip was able to get it fairly quickly. Everything's all right.
Couple extra missiles there.
He's doing a 12 plus 8.
12,
This
8.
works.
Yep. Looked like he was just stopping at 10 for a second, but then did the extra 2.
Yep,
9,
so
9, 12, 8, or 15, 7, all fine.
this is 13 extra missiles, it looks like. 'Cause you need 45, 45. So 4 supers plus a missile of leeway.
Just 1 missed super so far, not a big deal.
Yeah, we'll need to swap to missiles at the end to get that last little bit. And health isn't really a concern either.
Oh, you do want to not have a double catch-up hit, though, for sure.
Yeah, well, D-Web has, I believe, 1 tank of reserve, so a double hit would have been okay. Either way, we do make it through. Got a little bit scary at the end there. That last catch-up was very narrowly dodged.
Yeah, I missed a couple supers, but that's the nice relaxed nature of this fight with all the extra leeway that DJ had. Wiping down the hands. DJ's just been too sweaty throughout this whole tournament. Going to be moving to 5-0 in head-to-head competition right now in individual games.
Yep, keeping up the undefeated streak. Looking good. We'll see if Glove is able to make it to Turian before D-Web finishes. I think she will, but just barely. Yeah, really commanding game 1 from D-Web, being a full Turian ahead, pretty much.
Not sure if our runners rolled all 3 seeds in these best of 3s. It is pretty typical to roll all 3 seeds at once.
I think they did, but I do think we're still having a slight break before game 2, if the runners so choose.
At the very least, just have a second to stretch your legs and refill your water.
Yep.
But we'll stay live with you here on the action, take you through game 2, and if necessary, game 3. Reminder, we still have the other semifinal, Audra versus MM2 Nest Cartridge. Yeah. Winner of this match will be facing the winner of that one.
Yeah, and I think that will be scheduled for tonight. It hasn't been scheduled yet.
It should be. I think both of those other semifinalists had SMZ3 matches. Of course, we've got multiple ongoing tournaments and a lot of our runners participating across different tournaments. Link to the Past, SMZ3, SMR.
I think MM2 is currently playing in SMZ3 as we speak.
I think that's correct,
on
yeah.
SG4.
Yeah, and Audra had an SMZ3 race this morning, as far as I know. So I expect the 2 of them to schedule for later this evening. All right, and here's our escape. As you spoke, I think definitely still going to be a 55 here. No high jump will slow things down a little bit, but speed still makes this escape pretty fast.
Yeah, it's going to be close. And this is actually the one awkward part about turning off screw attack is no screw attack, no high jump. It can be kind of awkward to enter Leodoc's room. Like normally you would jump through this door and either with screw attack or with the iframes and high jump be able to pass through that pirate right above the door. But without it, you have to do what D-Web did and kind of jump around it. So
yeah, handled it pretty nicely though. There are places where you screw that up and actually end up falling all the way to the bottom of that bottom left of Leodoc's room. Yeah, and that's the other thing not having high jump. I always like to angle up snipe that bottom pirate because if you're not fast enough, you're going to get that hit and then fall back down. But no big deal.
Yeah, unfortunately, a bit of a slow Leodoc's room might cost D-Web the 55, so this is looking like a low 56 now, but
unacceptable.
I don't think he's going to be too worried about that, given how the race is about to finish out.
Yeah, and Glove did make it into Turian, but won't get much past this first Metroid room.
Make it to room, well.
All right, folks, line up your GGs in chat. About to get that hand raise from D-Web. Staying undefeated in this tournament so far. Yeah, sort of a look of acknowledgement there from Glove. Nicely done, DJ, winner of Game 1. We're going to take a quick break here. Mute the mics, let these folks take a breather, talk a little bit about this first seed, and we will be back at you with the action for Game 2 in just a moment. So stay tuned and stay tight. We'll be staying with you here on Speed Gaming 3. See you on the other side. All right, we are back live with you for Game 2, DJ versus Glove in this first of our 2 semifinals here in this SMR 2024 SGL in-person tournament. Back at you in the booth. I'm Professor School, and we got TG Dirt. Excited for Game 2? What do you think?
Yeah, pretty excited. We saw an interesting Game 1, obviously very close early on with a fairly linear seed, and then the 1 point of divergence came up really well for D-Webb as Glove ended up full clearing ship in last location in gravity, and then ended up with an early LN and punished with a Turian at the end.
Yeah, both runners actually in the Fantoon boss in wrecked ship at the exact same time, and then it was just, as we talked about, you know, how long do you stay in ship? Do you probably clear everything, but in what order with speed? And the order seemed to potentially favor Glove in terms of routing out the back of ship, but then gravity, of course, being at the wrecked ship E, just clearly favored DJ, and it sort of went on a roll from there. The runners giving each other a little thumbs up indication. Looks like we're good to go, so we're going to drop that flag here in just a second and get them started.
Yeah, obviously, I think both runners should be fairly happy with how they played in the first game.
Absolutely.
So I don't think there's any big changes in strategy for either runner. Both just going to keep on going, and we'll see who's able to take Game 2.
Yeah, I mean, it feels bad getting hecked the way that Glove did, just with that item placement, but I think the decision-making largely was good. It rewarded DJ in this particular instance, who manages, as we pointed out, to stay undefeated in this tournament, now 5-0, but still needing another victory here, and Glove can tie it up very quickly and force a decisive Game 3. Both of these runners looking to make their way into the finals of this in-person Super Metroid Randomizer tournament. Again, for those just tuning in with us, this is major-minor item split. This is area randomization, and the bosses are mystery. So you can see any boss in any location. We could see 4 Fantoons. We could see 4 Ridleys. We'll just have to find out what this seed has in store.
Yeah, I assume the runners are not hoping for any 4 Ridley seed.
No, we had, what, 3 out of 4 in our seed yesterday?
Oh, I don't remember. We had 2 Ridleys for sure because we had no Fantoon.
Mm-hmm.
But I've definitely seen 3 Ridley seeds before. They are as not fun as you'd expect.
Yeah, you have to be sort of prepared for the worst at all times, especially seeds where you don't find Varia early or potentially not at all. There's a lot to prepare for here. Especially, I find things like Ridley and ship are particularly harmful. If you're coming off 1 Ridley in one area, normally with shuffle or shifted, if you get a Ridley out of the way, you know that you're not going into ship with another Ridley. But if you're burning all your supers on 1 Ridley and you're going to ship next, you have to be really, really thoughtful about the way that you plan your ammo refarms. Places like ship, for example, there's just no good place to farm supers. So that does really come into the strategizing that makes things tricky, and runners have to be very, very mindful of their super counts. 1 Ridley is not enough. You could see multiple, and it can make things very, very tricky.
Yeah, no good super farm and ship, and you need a bunch of supers just to get to the boss.
Yeah.
Did see another seed with Morph Ball at Pedestal. This time we're going to start off with a grapple, which is... It could be nice. Maybe.
Well, just like that space jump, it does immediately open up the X-ray, as we saw in Game 1. It makes that a much easier check than doing some sort of very complicated zero-tank setup.
Yep.
No power bombs, though, so we won't check that meme route portal.
Yeah, I was going to say, no early power bombs. We are going back up to the rest of criteria, get that bomb Chorizo check. Technically, we don't need to get a bomb-breaking item, since with the super missiles, we do have the first portal in criteria accessible at the battle crabs. Mm-hmm. Crab hole, whatever you want to call it. So we'll see what else we're able to find. See, I think both of these runners are wall jump climbers. I'd say as D-Webb immediately doesn't do wall jump climb. I'm really smart, trust me. Yeah, climb looking really strong for Glove. That was a really good climb. D-Webb had a little bit of trouble at the beginning, so.
A little bit at the end, too. Unfortunately. Oh, dear.
Yeah, so Glove pulling out a slight lead in the early game, just having a bit cleaner in the vanilla the closer to vanilla movement, I guess. This would normally be what you do in a vanilla run.
Well, and I will say that it's definitely advantage Glove in that sense. She has a ton of experience with a bunch of different vanilla categories, has played all 5 major vanilla categories, is very accomplished in all of them, in addition to a lot of the extension categories. And I think in some sense that does give an advantage. Obviously, random movement's a little bit different, but these are the sort of sections of the game where I think you'll just see Glove have a pure movement advantage.
Yeah, there are a lot of rooms that are pretty common in Rando that you just never see in any vanilla categories. So there are definitely just, if you do enough seeds, you start to pick up strats for them. Whereas, even if you're really experienced with vanilla, you run into the room and have no idea what to do and still end up losing time. But as mentioned, we did not find a bomb-breaking item, so we are headed over to the right side of criteria. D-Web going to take the save. I believe Glove went without, so we'll further her slight lead. Again, doesn't matter too much early on, but, it could matter.
Yeah, I mean, if you find something like top of West
that was a little
Meridian,
scary.
you have a save early, it potentially could be nice. It saves you the time that you would spend on it after. But those saves, with all the new save stations put in, it makes a lot of these checks a lot easier now.
Yeah, we do find above Kraid here at the bottom of Red Tower. Kraid portal is going to take us to Green Bryn, which is what we were hoping to find down here. Glove is skipping out on the Spazer check, though, which is technically possible with the super missiles. We'll see if D-Web does the same thing.
I do kind of like that Spazer check, although you're not checking the tube either in this case, so there is a way to get back to it, depending on how you get spit out. But I do tend to favor that Spazer check early. It could net you something very, very useful. Even a tank at this point, especially early, can make a big difference.
Yeah, I think generally a lot of runners are split on it. Some people do Spazer there, some people just go straight for the portal. Usually the portal isn't something you want to follow anyways, so you have to go back for the Spazer, and then in that case, if you did check Spazer, you have to do a little bit of back and forth, which loses you a lot of time.
Yeah, it sort of just matters what that item is and how much it ends up impacting the next area that you're in.
Yeah, good news is both runners skipped it, so we are not gaining a huge advantage early on either way. Both runners also opting to go down to this portal. It is not something they want to follow, as we saw. It is the back of Wreck Ship.
Yeah, but useful information when you find the front of Wreck Ship. Now you don't have to worry about orphaning a dead end like Turian or Kraid at the back. You just go on.
Yeah, and Glove actually is going for that Spazer check before going into Green Bryn. So forget what I said earlier. Let's see if anything big pops here. Actually,
looks like
doing
DJ
the same.
doing it also. So really the difference here, just a little bit of that early game movement and then the ship save that DJ took. All right, so we had a very early space jump. Was one of our first 2 items in the previous seed, sort of invalidating the use of double jump. Maybe we'll get a little bit more of a showcase of that dash unique double jump item, which gives you a single use of space jump. You'll actually see that item marked at the top right of the HUD. RB, of course, Red Bryn, 60, that number that you see at the top right, that's the total damage that the beam does right now. And that little pink indicator is the double jump.
So I think we may have overlooked something a little bit earlier, which thankfully the runners did not. They don't actually have they don't have the ability to check anything in Green Bryn without bombs or power bombs. So that is why we're seeing both runners just leave it for now, because they just can't do anything unless they find a power bomb in one of the 2 ammo locations in Big Pink. And it looks like that's what D-Web is going to bet on. While Glove looks like is taking the save and then checking out the rest of the portals here in Red Tower. And D-Web immediately gets that power bomb, so
yeah, pretty fortunate. So divergence very early where we didn't see it in the previous seed. Glove, I missed it. Glove checked that middle Red Tower portal. What was that?
I missed it as well, but whatever it was, she didn't want to follow it. Well, either way, D-Web is onto these Green Bryn checks. Gets an ice beam there at charge. We'll see what he's able to find at Wavegate. Takes a hit from the big hopper, though, which is a little bit scary.
Yeah, if this is not a tank, you do want to be very, very careful on the escape from this Wavegate area.
Yeah, if you hug the left wall, then you can... There's a gravity seed.
Oh
this is actually looking really good for D-Web.
Wow.
He made this play. But yeah, if you hug the left wall, you're able to guarantee you take a hit from one of the small hoppers. Looks like D-Web's actually going to be even safer and just power bomb, kill all the hoppers before having to deal with it. It does open up the spikes there, so you do have to be careful to not hug the right wall and land in the spike platform that's revealed. Yeah, Glove took the save. Neither portal was something she wanted to follow. Found the Turian up the elevator, croc entry.
Oh, actually is going to be going through the croc entry portal here. With grapple, maybe? Getting the refill and then going across to lava dive? Or is this going up to... No, this is with grapple going up to, of course, business center.
Yeah, she's losing a lot of health, though. The movement was not super clean, and I don't think she has enough health to make it across.
Is not nearly enough.
Also, use supers on the Cax, so the Cax drops supers instead of health, which could have made a difference.
Yeah, that would have been a nice place for grapple, potentially, to get 40 health up.
Well, we'll see where Glove wants to go now.
Yeah, do you retreat to Green Bryn here? It looks like it.
Yeah, I think at this point you kind of have to gamble on Green Bryn. There's just nowhere else to go. So
and speed here. Okay, so grab speed immediately.
D-Web also just in health bomb range. Or not health bomb, but alarm range. Actually, this is interesting because he's at 30 health, so the alarm is going off, but he's not in health bomb range, so he can get non-health drops from this, I believe.
Want to be a little careful here, okay?
He's all right. He's got gravity. Actually, slight correction. He would be guaranteed to get health drops, but the way health bomb works is once you get under 30, you have to get health drops until you get over 50. But if you're at 30, you're guaranteed to get health drops, but then you're not put in health bomb. So if you get up to like 35, you can get a missile, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So weird little quirk that can come up, usually doesn't, but it is in the game, so. There's another power bomb. D-Web has 15 exiting, at least 15. Glove. I didn't see where she hit this power bomb.
This was the power bomb that DJ lucked into right at charge missiles.
Okay, so Glove picked up ice and then just went straight for the 2 portal?
That's right.
Okay. Well, that's okay as long as she gets back, because as we know, there are some very good items here in Red Tower. But yeah, Glove has a lot of portal knowledge that D-Web does not. That is going to matter for sure.
Yeah, it's sort of, I think, will depend somewhat where DJ gets spit out here. If top of Green Bryn puts him right into, let's say, business center, he might just be able to get right back through and get all that portal knowledge. We'll see.
I mean, with the gravity, you can do everything in West Meridia.
Mm-hmm.
So if he hits somewhere there, then we'll probably see D-Web like go to Mama Turtle and then start checking portals there. Well, let's see.
Top of Redfish.
Yeah, I may have farmed a little bit before doing any of this, but that's okay. He's got enough health. He'll be okay for 1 hit. Actually going to go check Pre-Aqueduct before going down to Mama Turtle and the other 2 portals.
I think that kind of makes sense. Speed makes it easy to get up here, but on 65 health with nothing in reserves. Yeah, maybe a little farming here. There you go. Of course, getting 2 power bombs when maybe you wanted health.
Well, now has to be extra careful. It's now the crabs will do lethal damage. There's some health drops, though.
Yeah, and interesting, just like that, we know all 3 of the right side Bubble Mountain, right side Upper Norfair portals. Both runners don't have that knowledge. They have that independently.
Yep. Fortunately, Glove did go back into Green Bryn, so we'll get this gravity suit. I imagine not super happy about it, getting that presumably much later than her opponent, which, as we know, is true. But did they get a spring ball at Terminator, it looks like?
Yeah, it must have been.
And, you know, does technically have the knowledge of Front of East.
Mm-hmm.
So could, or well, back of east.
Back of east.
So could technically go there if she wants. I would imagine she doesn't. I would assume Glove does everything in green brain and then follows D-Web into west. We'll see what D-Web finds here at Mama Turtle. Got the double jump to check this fairly easily. It's just an E-tank, but you're still pretty low on health. So
yeah, on
I assume
1+1, I
happy.
think you're very happy to find this here.
The other option for Glove, which D-Web didn't do, is Waterway. You know, with that speed booster that is opened up.
I don't know, it's a little slow to retrace your steps. I never know quite what the right play is when you find speed on the left side of Green Brain and you're trying to go out the top, especially a portal that you're going to want to follow here in West Meridia.
I think generally the best play is to leave it. It's just one check. Like you said, it's pretty slow. And given that up here is a portal you want to follow, like you obviously check this first. If it was something you didn't want, then you turn back and check Waterway on the way out. But because you're following this, I think you're just isolating it. Nice little spark here for D-Web. Gets a super even. I swear, every time I do that, it's a missile. Always looking for something else, but...
Nice moonfall on the way back down. Finally, we'll get these final two portals in West Meridia.
Croc
there's Croc.
Interesting. I don't know if you do it. Looks like D-Web is
I think
going to that.
If you're going to do this, I think you do the first item in Bale, probably.
I think I would have checked the other portal first. And then if that's like LN or something else I don't want to follow.
Do Croc, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see how Glove ends up handling it if she goes up the elevator like I expect.
Yeah, if there's nothing here and Glove skips Croc, it could be an opportunity to catch up a little bit.
Having a little bit of trouble with this Croc.
Yeah, a little trollish. We're getting a lot of these particle spits, or these swipes from Croc. All right, there we go.
We got there eventually. Another E-tank. I think you check the back. Once you're already committed to the fight, I think I like checking the back in this situation. You know, you've got the speed booster to check it fairly quickly. And then...
Yeah, and that is what DJ's doing here.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see if Glove decides to skip it entirely. And again, that extra portal knowledge from Glove, having gone back around the, what was it, the top of Red Bryn? Or Red Tower? Knowing where Turian is?
Yeah, it was up the elevator, which Glove saw because she did all of the Red Tower checks before going into Green Bryn.
Yeah, so she knows where Turian is. DJ not yet.
Looks like Glove's going to put this double jump to use. Gets up here to pre-aqueduct without using that grapple.
That might actually be faster, honestly, than using grapple. Double jump is pretty nice there.
It's faster than grav jumping, for sure, but I don't think it's faster than using grapple. But either way, Glove not going to follow it. As we know, it was single chamber, which Glove does not have the health to do on hand. Gonna see another use of double jump here for D-Web. Gonna get these nice little wall jumps into the double jump to get up this ledge.
Yeah, really nice. Oh, wow.
Okay, so another pretty early go mode seed. Both suits and speed showing up. So once again, we're on the ammo hunt and on the boss hunt, of course. D-Web, I don't actually think he's seen any of the boss areas because all the, well, he's seen back of
wreck ship, yeah.
But hasn't seen back of east, which Glove has. Actually going to skip that power bomb, which you don't need to crystal flash anymore, so stopping at 15 makes sense.
Yeah, and you already have ice, so you don't need to worry about Metroid rooms. I think 15's just fine.
Alright, so gonna be a big moment here for Glove if she also decides to do the Croc here. D-Web gonna clear this area of all the ammo as well. Glove also going to go for this. Going to do the short charge from the bottom as opposed to D-Web, who did it from the middle, which is a little bit.
She did actually try to do it from the middle and then jumped down and got hit by one of the fish and just wasn't able to complete that.
Yeah, another instance of speed no high jump being a little bit awkward to move around.
Yeah.
But she was able to get that super, and we'll see how she handles this croc.
All right, we're going to get some more portal knowledge here. Still outstanding, a couple portals in criteria. We have Business Center still unaccounted for. And the back of LN.
So this is interesting because I was going to say, I expect Love to follow this. I'm kind of surprised D-Web is because, again, he's got so much less knowledge.
Yeah, like if Turian is in the front here, what do? You just don't know.
Yeah, we might see that happen where D-Web goes to the front of LN and Glove doesn't.
Yeah, and to be clear, I said, what if Turian was at the front? Obviously, we know that that's not the case.
Right.
But DJ does not know that. Turian, of course, at the top of Red Tower. Glove saw that on her detour. She does, as we were asking before, she does end up deciding to do the full croc clear, so we'll not miss on that Varia.
Yeah, actually, it might be the other way around, where D-Web doesn't want to go to the front because there's the possibility of getting burned by a Turian, whereas Glove knows whatever's back there. Like, she's already seen Croc, she's already seen Turian. Even if it's the last one-way, which is Kraid, she has to do it, and any of the other portals she gets routed to are all okay. You know, getting routed into, like, Business Center, or I guess Meme Route kind of sucks, but everything else at least puts you back into the rest of the game.
Yeah, but if you're DJ and you have both Turian and Kraid outstanding, I mean, it's a 50-50, but if you leave Kraid there,
yeah,
that feels really bad.
This could get awkward for sure.
And health is another thing that we need to keep attention to here. 3+1 is enough, but doing reverse acid dive, okay, the extra E-tank helps quite a bit. I was going to say, if you aren't going to get an E-tank and you're going to have very low health coming out of potentially like a Ridley fight, preparing for reverse acid dive could be very, very slow in this situation, but the extra tank helps an awful lot. And DJ does have potential for Crystal Flash.
Yep, there's also the nice save at Key Hunter Stairs. I think D-Web knows the manip to get up from the save room without getting hit. One of those things we were talking about, something that doesn't come up a lot in vanilla, but is really useful in Rando, as it turns out.
It is.
Glove, meanwhile, will probably also follow back of Ellen. We'll see where she goes from there. So, opted to do a lot fewer ammo checks than D-Web. D-Web full cleared everything from the Croc area, whereas Glove skipped both Cosine and Croc BB. I think she did check the Indiana Jones missile. Maybe?
Yeah, she left behind crab supers also. She took a look and peeked and saw those supers, and you actually saw visible frustration there, leaving behind, you know, another big piece of ammo. So DJ will be firmly ahead on ammo at the end of these checks.
Yep, that does matter. D-Web has made his way. This is actually kind of awkward if it ends up being Ridley. D-Web will have to do a lot of farming to make sure he has enough ammo. And Glove will have to use most of her power bombs.
Yeah, there was a super at PBs of Shame, I think.
Yeah, that will definitely make things better.
Yeah, I think there was. I might be misremembering.
I think you're right that there was at least one, because there wasn't one in Croc, and D-Web got
and the other one was Crab
supers.
Supers, yeah.
So there's one more somewhere down here.
Grapple does make this a little easier. I mean, the super drops here on these bugs is not too bad. We'll see if Glove decides to go all the way through to jail here. No.
D-Web is going to farm all the way to 30. So entering with 29, and it is Fantoon, so it didn't end up mattering, but you want to do that farm to stay safe regardless.
Absolutely. And it's actually dividend paid off, because depending on where you get spit out, you could have like a Ridley at Kraid at the front. And that could actually be really nice to prepare for that now.
Yeah, one less item check. It's not too big of a deal, given, you know, we already have enough items to beat the game, but...
Very fast eye close there from Fantoon. Immediately
that was,
going off
that was
screen.
mean.
A mid reappear, though. Not awful. A little struggle on the Doppler there.
Yeah, the Fantoons have not been the cleanest from either runner today, but that is kind of the nature of Fantoon. He does mean things to you, and you deal with it. Lining up for a 4-round for D-Webb. Nicely done.
Yeah, probably didn't even need to use the super there. Probably could have finished that fight with missiles. That's all right.
Here's that super you were talking about at PBs of Shame. So Glove going to be up to 25, which is, again, enough to deal with Ridley with the amount of missiles she has. But as we know, we'll not need to worry about it.
All right, we get a little pensive look to the ceiling from DJ, probably trying to plan out the route. What do you do in this situation? We know Turian's at the top of Red Tower. DJ does not. Only Glove has that knowledge. So 2 dead ends outstanding for DJ, both Kraid and Turian. Kraid, of course, could be at the front of LN, and you really, really do not want to leave that behind here if you're DJ. We're going to see in a second what decision he decides to make here.
I think I like the play to check it, even in DJ's position. I definitely like it in Glove's position. But
yeah, well, as you pointed out, even if it isn't Kraid, it pretty much every other portal puts you into someplace useful where you want to be. Retrobrin would be a little bit annoying, but it still routes you back to that portal that you haven't seen.
yeah, you can climb up criteria and go out that way.
Right. Still looking for the good entrances to Wrecked Ship and East Meridia.
D-Webb
All right,
about to come out on this decision.
We get a save here?
Well, first
dear.
getting a little bit beat up. Does take the save. This health is a little bit sketchy now, taking 2 Key Hunter hits.
Yeah, and I'll point out only 9 power bombs, so the Crystal Flash is not a potential here. There's that 3 shots. Yeah, this is something that DJ and I actually went over together last year at SGL. It's a really nice manip to get not only past the first Key Hunter, but get both of those Key Hunters with that second set of jumps that you saw him do. That actually piles both of those Key Hunters together on the left side there so you don't take any additional hits. Double jump will help quite a bit here.
I believe Spring Ball was at Terminator. Which
I think it was, yeah.
D-Webb has not been back to criteria, so has not seen that yet.
D-Webb being very careful here, does not want to take any additional hits.
Yeah, going through this room without screw attack is a little bit scary if you're not trying to take more hits. I may have been inclined to go down through pillars, but we'll see how D-Webb handles this.
I would almost want to pop my reserves here. You know, if you can get double hit pretty badly in this situation. A nice use of ice at least to freeze these violas, but they can be really tough. They move very, very quickly through these tight areas.
Yeah. These side hoppers with both suits do, or the Deskigas rather, they do 40, right?
I think that's right. I think this is just the way to do it. You just have to be really, really careful and now use speed. Yeah, nicely done. Okay.
Yeah, well done from D-Webb.
All right, I'm through the worst of it now. Okay.
Well, coming up on what could be a big portal. Obviously, we know it's not Turian, so that would be the worst case for D-Webb. But he doesn't know that. So this is still a bit nerve-wracking. You could just get owned here and be kind of in the same position Glove was in game 1, where it's just kind of over.
All right, what do we got? Is this top left of Business Center maybe? No, Kraid.
Oh, it is Kraid's lair. Okay. That is really big. We'll see if Glove does the same thing. She's saving as well, so it looks like she is.
I think you just have to here.
Yeah.
Leaving that behind is just too bad.
I would agree. So, Glove has the knowledge to end the game, and D-Webb does not yet. That is non-trivial. Obviously, Glove has the 2 bad entrances to the last 2 boss areas, but I wouldn't be surprised if she just doesn't check any more portals, just, you know, does like a back-to-back ship. Maybe check the front of ship to see if it connects to the front of East. But, you know, do those areas, plan on doing those areas from the back, and then just going up to Turian. Does need to make it out first. Also going to be pretty low health. We'll see which route Glove takes out of this area. It looks like she is also going to go down Mickey Mouse.
Is it Dragon?
Yep. We've got the grapple beam, so it's going to be a nice and easy fight. Also might opt to do some speed booster damage as well.
Yeah, even without high jump, double jump does really nice here to allow you to do this initial charge and get up high enough to do quite a bit of damage on Dragon.
Glove's taking a lot of damage from these Violas.
Okay, so unfortunately did not get that short charge at the start for DJ.
Yep, and of course Dragon responds by giving a bunch of swoops.
But the much easier right side goop kill here. Pretty free.
Nice and easy.
Yeah, nicely done. Welcome to our 386 Raiders. Thanks very much for the raid. Just a reminder here, folks, this is Game 2 for those Raiders just coming in. This is Game 2 of our Best of 3 series, semifinal number 1 in our live and in-person SMR tournament. This is DJ, you see, with a 1-0 lead over Glove. Glove trying to even the series and force a Game 3. DJ trying to advance to the finals with a win here. And the current state of the race, DJ's a little bit ahead, having already taken out this second boss at Kraid's Lair, but Glove accumulated quite a bit more map knowledge with those top of Red Tower portals, which is actually where Turian is. So Glove has the knowledge to finish the game, and it's just a question of how this routing might affect the ability of Glove to go a little bit faster with more knowledge. And we'll just have to see if that pays off and gives her the opportunity to knot up this series 1-1 and force a rubber match.
Yep. We saw D-Webb pick up that high jump behind Dragon. That could potentially be something that Glove skips. There's charge as well. Okay. Also something that Glove might not pick up. Although, I think in this situation, you're probably checking every major here in Kraid.
Yeah, they're pretty fast checks. You still have high jump outstanding. You still have charge outstanding.
You also see the fairly rare missile refill here before Kraid.
Yeah, just preparing for the potential for Ridley on only 25 supers. Want to make sure that you have enough for this fight and you don't have to do power bombs. But knowing with that screen going black that it's either Dragon or Kraid, and it turns out to be Dragon in this case. Nice little swag show off of that blue keep there from Glove. DJ wasn't quite able to get that opening charge and had a bit of a slower Dragon, missing that opening charge and getting a lot of swoops. A little bit lower than you'd like to get really full damage on that. Let's see, double jump use here.
This might be in range of 3 spark. It looks like Glove's just going to finish the fight off with supers. Doesn't quite get it, but...
Yeah, and I think you actually want to be really careful there because... you want to be careful there because what you don't want to do, and you can see just how low Dragon was on health there, both by the color of the belly and the fact that that up spark, that little uppercut into the jaw killed Dragon for a little laugh for all of us here in the room and for Glove. You potentially could put Dragon in a really nasty loop if you kill Dragon just as she goes off screen. That necessitates 18 minutes of painful off-screen movement from Dragon. Fortunately, that didn't happen there. think it's happened to pretty much every vanilla speedrunner in their life at some point. I'm not sure how common that is in Rando, but I'm sure it has happened.
Well, I think in Rando generally you won't do that spark. I'm a little bit surprised that Glove did, but fortunately did not get punished for it.
Yeah. Oh no, I meant the super kill right as Dragon is going off screen.
Oh yeah. Well, see if Glove checks this charge beam. She does.
Yep.
So you still kind of want to be picking up ammo. This actually kind of incentivizes you to check more majors to try to find another beam, because with one more beam, this is actually fairly comfortable to finish the game on. But with just charge ice and not a ton of ammo, you're a little bit low. So I think in this case, you're probably swapping to checking majors, in my opinion.
You don't very often see that key hunter come down and just sit on your head like that. Little unfortunate.
You can actually get up this with double jump, by the way. Get up lava dive. Love having a little bit of trouble with it though.
Oh, right into that flame.
I think you can actually get high enough to wall jump off of the ledge.
Yeah, you can. It's just a little uncomfortable. Yeah, there you go. You just switch the gravity jump. It can be a little uncomfortable sometimes with high jump there when you're using double jump. Getting stuck in the position that Glove did. Much, much easier to do without boots in that particular situation. All right. So now some of these Bubble Mountain portals that we know what they are, but DJ does not yet. So we'll need to go to that Croc entry portal, which he has not seen, to get knowledge of the top of Red Tower.
Looks like D-Web is going to start making some of these checks. I think you skip speed, but I kind of like doing wave and maybe even the reserve.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially when you're coming out of the single chamber portal, it's not too bad to check this. It's one less door transition since you're already here.
Well, here's a nice place that Glove actually made up time, getting that strat up worst room in the game, which D-Web didn't and had to missile down a lot of the pirates. So
Yep.
making up some of that time that she lost from the lava dive shambles. So she is a little bit low on health, which is scary.
Oh, just getting over that pirate. Goodness gracious. Not sure what the situation is. I think probably full reserve, but not 100% sure. And boy, you want to be really careful here. Everything's still here. It still hits for a lot here now, and even with both suits.
Yeah, this is where the vanilla new route experience can come into play. Dodging all the enemies.
Yeah, and Glove has run a Fantoon first, so does have some new route experience.
All right, so this will lead him to Criteria, it looks like. D-Web gonna opt to check this spring ball, I believe this was.
I was paying attention to Glove's health issues there, leaving LN. Did DJ check the Croc entry portal?
No, he has not checked that yet.
Okay.
He found Criteria.
Oh, I see.
He went to check
yeah,
the major and then
do it
is
now.
going to check
Yeah,
the
he'll
other
go do
side,
it now. Okay.
which was...
Well, this is the critical one because this will get him back to Red Tower, and then he'll find Turian.
Right. And that will actually, if he checks all of the Red Tower portals, that'll actually put him in even knowledge to Glove.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Glove, meanwhile, I assume is just headed to Red Tower and Green Bryn, since that's where the last... That's where the boss areas are.
Yeah, it could be Criteria. The answer could also be in Upper Norfair, which we kind of rare to see this, but we have not seen Business Center. And there is an outside chance that some of these portals loop to each other in the same area, and that Aqueduct is also front of East Meridia is actually at retro PBs, which is kind of the most annoying situation I think here.
Yeah, D-Web seeing the back of East there, gonna keep climbing. We'll find the Croc entry portal and Turian, and from there, He'll know where everything is because he has seen wreck ship. And I think by then Glove will have pretty much caught up, so the early knowledge paying off for Glove, and now we are really close, actually.
Yeah, it's going to be really close, I think.
You know, both on even items. D-Web having a little bit more ammo, which is non-trivial with this beam combo. Glove actually gonna do some of these checks. Gonna check the high jump, see if we find anything good.
I think finding a super or a beam here is nice. So,
Oh, geez,
no supers, which is really unfortunate because that could potentially help you speed up Ridley's at future bosses.
Well,
But maybe a beam here? No, just an E-tank, but it is a free refill.
Yep. The Sova was also giving Glove a bit of trouble. She'll have to kill it on the way out. There's a power bomb you can lay that actually kills the Sova and breaks the block. Or you can just go down here. That works too.
Yeah, especially seeing that missile, you just don't pick that up in this case. So this is just fine. I don't expect Glove to check ice here. There's no miners, so it really doesn't justify that check.
Yeah, I would agree.
And now we're going to be just about dead even. DJ making his way back down. Glove making her way up, and we're going to see what these two portals are at the top of Business Center.
Yeah. We see the moat, which I guess we follow that if this other portal isn't anything good.
Yeah, well, one of these is going to be the front of ship, and one of these is going to be the front of East Meridia. So both should be good, and the other location is going to be buried. There. Oh, actually, very interesting. So,
Okay, yeah, so they're connected.
They're connected. Yeah.
So
That's the other possibility, was the ship and front of East Meridia are actually connected to one another.
hopefully Glove remembers. Yeah, she can go. Oh, she's actually going back down. No, she should go across moat and then down. That'll lead her to Red Tower, going down crabs. I wonder if the head shake means she's realizing it and is about to go back up.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so D-Web still in a slight positional lead, has caught up on knowledge for the most part, and yeah, if he checks the front of East, which I don't know why he wouldn't, he'll get routed right into ship. And
Yeah,
then,
you absolutely have to. When you come through, you're definitely going to check that. All right, so pick up the super pack. Yeah, you're going to come out the front, and before you make the decision to go up to Batun, you're going to check the front, and you're going to know that you're simply coming back to the front and routing through direct ship. This is going to work out really nicely for DJ.
well, you'd actually do front to back ship, and then that routes you to the bottom of Green Bryn, and the other portal down there is Red Tower. You just climb up tower.
And go to Turian. Yep.
Yep. So this route works out really well for both players, but looks like Love's actually going to do it the other way, go through back to front ship, and then front to back East, which is a little bit faster, it's worth noting, because you'll be able to take Cack Alley out of East Meridia. But I think D-Web's still slightly ahead. We might also see D-Web like front to front ship and then go through East. Which I might be faster, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's really tough call on the fly.
I guess back of East is closer to Turian than back of ship.
It is, for sure. I think you want to be going out back of East to Red Tower, and then have that be your final boss going through to Turian.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Turian, for those of you who don't have the map in front of you, we don't have it pulled up, but Turian is the top of Red Tower, and the back of East Meridia feeds into the middle of Red Tower, so that's really the way that you want to go to finish this seed off.
But yeah, going to Wreck Ship first has caught up Glove a little bit. It's still like almost a full minute for D-Web, but this is a point where Glove having the execution advantage could matter. We've got both the high jump and speed booster, which if you're the person with the better execution is what you want to have.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if that. Glove's also entering Ridley with a bit better ammo.
Yeah, quite a bit better. I think DJ had, what, 10 or 15 missiles?
Yeah, she's also going to check the spooky missile. We'll see if this is a super. It is not, but she is going to pick up the missile.
Glove opts to missile the I door, which I expect that she will, then they'll both have entered with 26 supers. Just way more missiles here for Glove, which are going to be a lot higher DPS than these charge shots DJ's doing.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if, at that point, starting the fight with double powerbomb hits, which it just might be higher DPS than trying to do charge shots, honestly.
Well, Glove going to use the super. Still has 30 missiles and 25 supers, which for a fairly comfortable Ridley fight.
Yep.
D-Webb being careful to hit every super. Each super he misses is 7 charge shots, which are very slow. So fortunately was able to hit them all and is done with the fight as Glove is entering. Runners are a Ridley fight apart. And that is
Just
still
the
not a
tank.
beam.
I'm not sure what that really does for you at this point. Health is pretty good.
Yeah, I would have skipped that tank, honestly.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's like you have 5+1. This is enough safety for Turian. You've got the Ice Beam for easy Turian shenanigans.
Ridley should be dead. Doing a really annoying tail swipe there. That crazy sort of sprinkler hose gone wild tail.
Yeah, Glove is going to check the item. I imagine she doesn't pick up the tank.
Yeah, I think you're just looking for a beam here.
Right, so
So it was about a minute, and this is down to about 30 seconds.
yeah, cleaner fight and not picking up the tank has caught up Glove a little bit.
Yeah, DJ was about 44:05 exiting, Glove about 44:35, so only 30 seconds. There is that wave beam.
Yeah, we'll see if Glove also decides to check that. Glove's been checking a lot more ammo, though. She might not be going for majors and might just check left super and leave. Or just might leave. Okay. Glove says she has enough, so the beam will matter a lot. D-Webb having a twice as powerful beam combo, but for the time being, Glove has taken the lead.
Yeah, we'll just have to see whether the execution advantage here from Glove and while stumbling on a super pack. This is, oh, it's not a super, that's right. This is a missile.
Yeah, it was a super last race
That's
that
right. That's
D-Webb
right.
skipped.
Yeah, a little bit of seed bleed there for your commentary crew. Sorry about that, folks. And just like that, we're dead even entering the front of East Meridia. DJ having that wave, just no reason to check for ammo at this point. I think 180 is about the break-even point for where picking up super still makes sense.
Where is D-Webb going? Oh, you know where he's going? He's going to farm for Batoon.
Yeah, you've got to prepare for Batoon here.
Yeah, Glove has enough ammo, although it's a little bit awkward. You're going to have to hit a lot of missiles, and Batoon can be pretty tough to hit. The hitbox for Batoon's head is pretty small and can be tricky. You do have the charge ice, so you're not going to get soft locked at least, but
you know, in this situation, with my experience running vanilla, what I might actually do is just turn ice off and use X factors on Batoon, honestly.
yeah, for D-Webb, I agree. Obviously, Glove does not have that
Of course,
opportunity.
yeah, of course.
Now we're into the fast-moving Batoon phase where it's really hard to hit. So I think D-Webb's actually going to catch up pretty significantly here. Oh, well, nicely done from Glove.
46-36 on head down. We'll see how much these extra supers help. Ooh, missing one immediately, so that does hurt a little bit. But these, are we going missiles or charge shots here?
Yeah, I like charge shots.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't see what that item was, but Glove didn't go back for it, so I assume it was not a beam.
Now, and I think you just have to full farm here. It's really slow. These Zoas, which are down in this pit, these little purple bugs that we're barely seeing show up on screen, they have a very, very low super drop rate.
I think you farm to half supers and just pray that it's not Ridley in this situation, because farming up to full is just so slow. D-Webb is having a lot of trouble with this Batoon, by the way.
Yeah, you can wait. So that's about 45 seconds advantage to Glove here based on the kill times. Real interesting swings back and forth between these two runners. DJ having held a lead the entire time that was a little artificial,
okay.
Just because of the map knowledge that he didn't have that Glove did. And then we saw sort of this back and forth affair with the two runners opting to check different items.
Yeah, D-Webb also going to be farming. We'll see how much he decides to do. Again, I think you stop at half and just call it a day.
Precious
Still
is
no
not
supers.
Wow.
Another seed where the supers are just not showing when we want them to.
Incidentally,
and it is a Ridley.
Yeah, and I think this actually favors Glove. Depending on, yeah, so they're going to be on very similar counts entering.
Well, D-Webb does have the better beam.
Oh, yes, of course. That's well pointed out.
So I think it's not better enough that D-Webb is just going to get a massive advantage, but it's non-trivial.
Yeah, and it could compound here for DJ in his favor, both between Ridley and Mother Brain with that extra beam damage.
Yeah, the best case for Glove is like Plasma behind this Ridley, and then both are on a comparable beam. D-Webb is entering with fewer supers, though. Glove entered with 10. D-Webb is only entering with 8.
Mm-hmm.
But again, has the better beam and more missiles to back it up.
Boy, this is going to be really close, huh, Dirk?
Yeah.
We had quite the opposite in race 1. We had both runners in a more linear seed beat at the first boss at Vanilla Phantoon and shit at the exact same time, and then massive divergence after that.
All right, you can see Glove is set up, so once Ridley changes color, she'll have the missiles and supers required to do the second half of the fight. So just has to do charge shots until that phase change, and then it's good to go. But I don't know how many charge shots she needs. It's a few.
Yeah, I wasn't really counting the power bombs and the double hits. But this is where that extra beam damage from DJ is really going to help pay off. Essentially getting 2 shots in for every one that Glove is doing.
Yeah, D-Webb will have to do a few more shots after the phase change. Doesn't quite have the ammo to... Well, I guess
One shot, 1 missile short.
I guess that should be fine because the phase change doesn't happen until Ridley's under 50.
Just under 50%. Yeah, it's the first shot that sends Ridley under. There it is for DJ, so
Yep.
just a little bit ahead. Oh, it happened for Glove, so almost at the exact same time.
We might see like a synced Ridley kill here. This is going to be very close. Glove getting a nice pogo here though, that D-Webb did not.
Yeah,
so
that helps a lot. Oh, and nicely making sure not to get that super in as Ridley flies away. Could potentially miss a super on the way up.
Yeah, that would have been pretty disastrous. Making sure everything lands.
That should be it.
Gonna do 1 extra shot for safety. It got blocked, but luckily Ridley was dead.
Yeah, and I think you definitely check for a beam here, and that's what Glove is setting up for. Get these drops in the beam.
Well, the drops don't really matter because you're getting the refill in Turian, but hoping for a beam here. Thought about that screw attack, but not going to go for it. So Glove has a little bit of a lead, and again, Glove has the execution advantage, so expect this lead to pull ahead a little bit, but I think the wave beam still puts this in D-Webb's favor.
Yeah, let's see. It's going to be about 20 seconds. Glove left at just about 51 flat. About just over that. So about 20 seconds for DJ. 20 seconds behind, I should say. Glove struggling a little bit here. Double jump can make this room quite a bit faster.
Yeah, another thing with the wave beam for D-Webb is he'll actually have a much faster baby skip. You know, we'll be able to break through more of those vines with each shot. So...
I will say there is a situation here that I've practiced quite a bit for Rando where if you're on this kind of a beam that Glove has, you just simply lay a power bomb on the way over one of the baby skips and you can clear all those seaweeds. It creates quite a bit of lag, but it reduces the number of shots you need quite a bit for baby skip. Clearing those seaweeds out. But I think the big difference is really just going to be on Mother Brain, and it's how much of a lead can Glove accumulate between now and then. How clean are the Metroid rooms? I think all of these things are going to matter, actually.
Yeah, and Glove's a little bit more incentivized to make sure she has full ammo exiting the Metroids, given that each shot will be half as effective as D-Webb's.
Yep.
Whereas D-Webb is, if he's super short, he's not too worried about it. It's only 2 charge shots. So, you know, an extra couple seconds, whereas for Glove, it's a full 4 per super mist. But still maintaining this advantage for now is Glove.
I mean, honestly, at this point, even how cleanly you execute things like the kill of Mother Brain 1 is going to be really important. If a turret blocks 1 or 2 supers for one of these runners, it's going to be really, really painful.
Yep, climbing up Red Tower. can be kind of tricky. Let's see. Nice use of the Ice Beam for Glove.
Derp, I think this is going to be really close.
It is going to be very
any
close.
way you cut it, this is really exciting.
I think Glove has pulled a little bit further into the lead, though, having cleaner movement.
Yeah, we'll check at Turian entry, which is what we're about to get here. It was 20 seconds leaving Ridley.
That was a cleaner red tower for D-Web, though. Everything matters now, so every little mistake we're pointing out for a reason, because it's suddenly become very relevant.
It's probably going to be about 54 flat coming off the elevator into Turian for Glove. That'll be a nice timestamp for us. And we're just going to have to add a couple seconds and see where DJ's at.
Yeah, it was 53:45 on the elevator.
Okay.
So it's looking like it's 25 seconds.
Yeah, so maybe another 6-7 seconds. Every little bit is going to count now for Glove.
Oh, and that matters a lot.
Yeah,
we do not have bombs, so
not
getting
having
grabbed by
bombs.
those Metroids is huge.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that is already, like, close to 10 seconds gone. And you're seeing, like we mentioned, Glove really wants full supers, so gonna
No
missile.
super drops there.
Yeah, gets no drops.
DJ manages not to get grabbed in room 1, so that's going to be pretty big. No, like, very few super drops again for Glove. Goodness gracious. DJ definitely has made up time after that room 1 error from Glove. Boy, hold on to your butts, folks. This is going to get absolutely down to the wire.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, and those 2 supers do make a difference here.
That is really bad.
That is painful, especially considering the situation with the beam combo right now.
I think technically only 7 shots. You'll need to make up 2 supers.
Yeah, it's
So,
eight or 9
7
seconds.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 or 8 seconds, depending on how clean you are with the charge shots.
Well, and we haven't talked about baby skip. Both runners have the capacity to do it here. This is really big. This is really big right here. Oh, no! Oh, my goodness. That was an opportunity, hitting that for Glove, to potentially put some space. This could just be a clear lead for DJ here. Oh, no, he's going to get grabbed. Okay, so that is a little benefit there to Glove, who would have had a much slower attempt, as you had pointed out, Derp, with only ice and no waves. So DJ not being able to manifest, consolidate that benefit.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if Glove opened the first door and then actually refilled the missiles.
Yeah,
just for that little bit more ammo.
Yep.
And actually, that's what we're seeing D-Web do. So it
that's
does cost time, you know. Like you mentioned,
3 supers up now instead of 2.
True, but like I said at the last race, it's, you know, a few more seconds to get another refill. So
we'll check here at Mother Brain head down. Oh, Glove struggling with the Zeb skip. Trying to go for that down back. Oh no, oh no.
well, that's a disaster.
Oh,
She
that
has to
is a
reset the room.
disaster. Oh my goodness.
There's another spot that wave actually makes it a lot cleaner. You can just do the Zeb skip from the top,
Yep.
and then you get hit right away.
And just like that, we are dead even, and that is really advantage D-Web. That may have been I don't know, again, 15, 20 second advantage for Glove, and with the room reset and the struggles, it's going to be more or less dead even.
Well, Glove having a cleaner Mother Brain 1, though. D-Web getting a little bit trolled.
Yeah, with
Actually
ice,
missed
I mean,
a few supers, too.
Well, that's what I was talking about. With ice here, I think you just freeze those Rinkas and clear them off screen.
Yeah, but again, I still think it's close enough that D-Web just has a straight lead with a better beam.
100%. Yeah, I mean, Glove just needed that section to be cleaner through the Metroid rooms. That M1 and that Zeb skip really, I mean, it could have been 30-second difference, and that would have really helped Glove a lot. It's still going to be very close at the end, though.
Yeah, how clean your charge shots are start to matter at this point. That's how close we are. Glove missed a couple. Just trying to be as tight as possible.
Yeah, and Glove saving those supers for that final phase.
Yeah, D-Webb just went straight for them.
Yeah. Glove has quite a bit of experience with low % ice. Those low loadout vanilla categories can help a lot with learning these efficient charge shots. But obviously, you know, with all the rando that DJ's played, I'm sure has practiced some of these lower loadout fights. But still, just with that wave, it's going to be so much faster for DJ. And there you see it right away, already into this red phase.
Yeah, obviously has used the supers already, but Glove is missing a lot of these shots.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I think this is just a 2-0 victory here for DJ.
It's looking that way. It's going to be... It's crazy that we're getting a race this close, though. Both runners are going to be in escape.
And I say unfortunately, I mean, it's really just from a sort of competition and viewer standpoint. If Glove had been just a little cleaner, didn't have that room 1 and Zeb skip issue, we may have actually had, you know, the runners getting to the ship within a few rooms of each other.
Yeah, with how close this is going to be, Glove is going to be so mad at herself with how much shambles she had in this Turian. You know, messing up room 1, missing the baby skip, missing the Zeb skip, and having to reload the room. Like, without that one, we're very close to even.
Yeah.
Because that was like a 15, 20-second time loss.
It was, yep. Just looking for that red phase here, that catch-up phase from Glove's mother brain.
Yeah, it should be close.
This is going to be over a minute here difference, and there it is. So now these 15 supers. Ooh, just getting under that catch-up. Yeah, and it's just under a minute here. So when you consider those, 30 to 40 seconds of errors between room 1 and the Zeb skip, this would have been almost exactly even going into escape here.
Yeah, I mean, even as it is, you can see how close it was between the two runners.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be something like, what, bottom of Behemoth Spark? Bottom of Climb Spark for Glove when DJ touches the ship, which is just, I mean, of all the heartbreaking ways to lose, especially in a game that could have forced a rubber match game 3. Oh, boy.
I think it might be in Leodox that D-Webb finishes.
Yeah, you might be right. Well, every little bit we said was going to matter, and it absolutely did. That M1 and Zeb skip, sort of the most costly here for Glove.
He's actually just pulled out a pretty significant lead. Like you said, Glove is still making it to escape, but you know, the better beam, the better fight, and less shambles in Turian has actually just put D-Webb almost a full minute ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably more than a full minute, I say, as he doesn't get the jump through the first escape room. But yeah, assuming this holds, it's D-Webb having a bit of trouble here. But that will be D-Webb's undefeated run continuing.
Yeah, moving to 6-0 in individual games and 5-0 in match play.
Yep.
And securing himself a spot in the grand finals against either MM2 Nest Cartridge or Audra, who are going to be having their race probably later today in the second semifinal.
Yeah, we'll see when that's able to get on the schedule. Finals will most likely be at some point tomorrow. But we don't know who he is facing, but we will know that DJ Webb will be making it to the finals. He has made it to the ship. He is done 2-0 over Glove.
Oh my goodness. Get your GGs in chat, folks. An absolutely epic Game 2. Came down to the wire.
What a series, honestly.
What a series.
I think we got to see 2 very different seeds. You know, the first one was very linear with just the 1 point of divergence. That one, we really did have both runners doing different things and then converging at the end.
Yeah, and we just hear off camera here in the little post-game chat, DJ saying that he found Wave at that final major check.
Glove saying a word we cannot get on interview, fortunately.
It's okay. Hard to lip read through a mask, though. All right, folks, we're about to get both of our semifinalists onto camera and onto microphone here. Congratulations to both of them. Very, very nicely done. An incredible series. Glove, GG's.
Thank you.
DJ, a nice win again. And just to fill you all in before we even get straight to questions, so you were talking about that wave beam there. Glove, you actually came into Turian with about a 30-second lead.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and it did look, and that was sort of back and forth affair. You had checked the top of Red Tower early and gotten a bunch of extra knowledge about Turian, so you were sort of behind the entire seed, but that knowledge evened out because then DJ needed to go to the top of Red Tower to equalize on knowledge, and pretty much on that final boss, you were neck and neck. And it was only when DJ decided to check Wave, get Wave at right supers, that gave you the lead. And unfortunately, it was the M1 grab and then the
Oh my god, yeah.
yeah, and then the Zeb skip issues. Otherwise, I think the two of you are within maybe 10 seconds hitting the ship in one way or another. It still favors DJ, I think, a little bit just because of that extra beam damage, but it was really, really close. So a really exciting race. I know it's a heartbreaker, but thank you for an excellent show. It was really, really good. So I'd be curious just to get your thoughts off the top about that race and about the series in total.
Yeah, so probably you can see on the cams when, like, I ask Love where she is, and she says Leodox, and, like, I'm playing the seed, and I'm looking at how this is going. I'm like, I just hit the stupidest god route anyone's ever seen in their life, right? Like, you do second item croc, which is, like, it was defensible, right? But I was like, you don't have to do that. And then it's lower Norfair, and, like, I almost wavered back to not checking the front. And at the end, I'm like, I'll just do it. Like, the odds of it being, like Turian's the only bad thing there, right? So I'm like, the odds are in my favor. Like, just go check it. I'm like making sure my health is good or whatever. And I hit crate, and you see it on my face. I'm like, well, that's stupid. And then I hit high jump and charge, and and I think at high jump I said like when it rains it pours. Like it just kept coming in like every possible good way, and like, oh my goodness. So like for it to be close to me was like insane. Like I feel like I'm checking a bunch of extra stuff because I'm like, I got time to give.
Well, interestingly, the Turian knowledge that Glove had was actually pretty critical because it told her that you didn't have to worry about a bad portal, and you're actually very likely to get spit, if it's not Kraid, to get spit out somewhere really good, and I assume that's what you were probably thinking.
Yeah.
You can get spit out in any other place that's good. It turned out to be Kraid, right?
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, obviously, would have been Turian, in which case...
I mean, you still know. It's like, it's okay, and I saved. But
Yeah.
like, just... I'm kind of shocked, honestly.
Well, the way things converged at the end was really remarkable.
Yeah.
And it was just a really, really close race. And
It's hilarious. We both farmed to exactly 10 supers at the like post-box thing.
I mean, I was like at 10 after like all the doors and stuff.
Oh, no.
So
I just got... So I had 8 going into that
Okay.
Ridley, yeah. Oh, my...
That like... I really don't know what you're supposed to do there because farming to 30 is just horrendous.
It's a terrible farm.
Yeah,
It just
it's
is.
a terrible
Like,
farm.
It's horrendous either way.
And it's 1-4, and you just fought Ridley, and well, I had just fought Ridley.
Yeah, it's like there's a little gambler's fallacy going on there for sure.
Yeah, like...
Yeah, Derp was saying maybe just farm to half and then go, sort of. But every super makes such a big difference there on that loadout.
Such a big difference. Oh, my goodness, yeah.
What a race, though. Unbelievable. An incredible set. A lot of interesting, two very interesting seeds. The first one handled very differently. The second one actually converging at the end. And I don't know. I mean, that wave definitely made it for you in the end, but, maybe with slightly better execution, that's dead even on the ship. So.
My escape, right? Like, it took me 4 jumps to get out of Mother Brain's room. I missed the charge in escape 3, I think that is. So yeah, if I'd have got sniped,
I mean, it could have been within seconds.
Just like good grief. Oh my goodness.
I was also I was down 2 supers.
Oh, I fired 2 into the glass. Where were you at? I was 60-30.
I don't remember my missile
It was
count.
pretty similar, but you were both on 30 supers. You were down a couple. You actually ended up refilling the
One missile, yeah.
one missile or one super on the red door.
I wonder I wonder how much it changes the time if I don't forget to check crab super. Because
I
Oh,
checked
yeah,
that
that gives you the
really
extra
early,
super pack.
yeah, which affects both Ridley and Mother Brain.
Yeah, we saw that you spot checked it and were pretty disappointed seeing that it was a super pack.
Yeah, I was just so like, I just had a brain blank moment, completely forgot to grab it on the way, and like you kind of can't justify going all the way back for it.
No,
so.
I don't think you can. But I mean, you could name that. You could name. There's a whole number
Yeah,
of things. There was the elevator. You had the double elevator when you were trying to reroute.
Yeah,
Right. And
Oh,
there's a lot of things that
I-
could potentially have swung
and like
it.
I don't play. I try not to play that game because I'm sure DJ has a ton of things where it's like, if I just didn't do this or that.
No,
But-
mine is like all of it is an escape actually.
Okay.
Well,
Go
no,
off.
there was a couple other places. I mean, where Glove, I think they had the advantage of some of the vanilla category knowledge, and it was really a back and forth affair. You'll go back and watch it. You'll see rooms where you had some shambles, and then Glove had some shambles, and it was really sort of going back and forth. It really could have been anyone's race at the very end. I think Wave probably won it for you, but not definitively, right? Execution on one side or the other, it's either a bigger gap or potentially within seconds on the ship.
I mean, I definitely farm up a lot more without Wave. I'll say that much. But yeah, I am playing as if I have like if you play that seed and you don't get very right, then right, you're like 20 minutes from done when we finish.
Yeah.
So I'm playing this as though I have a bajillion hours to give, basically. So that played into part of why I checked that. And like obviously like a beam is like infinitely good there, right? But like you don't have to check that clearly. I don't think Love made a bad decision at all.
Yeah. I really don't like checking right super there. Even with 3 beams outstanding, I'm not a fan of it. It works out, obviously, sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
But it is a slower check. I mean, you're probably hoping to run into something like Plasma behind Ridley, for example. That's probably best case scenario.
That would have been nice, yeah.
As good as the seed played out for me, I half expected Botswoon to be Plasma. Like I was ready to like cackle on stream.
Oh,
like,
my Botswoon fight was shambles too.
Mine
'cause
wasn't great.
I didn't have supers really going into that. I think I had 5 supers.
So Wave helped me in like
Yeah.
800 places.
Well, it ended up breaking even because you didn't farm, but DJ did, and then you ended up finishing at almost exactly the same time. So it's
I think
sort of
DJ
evened out.
had a few missed shots as well at the end.
At least one super, yeah.
Yeah, I was half wondering if you turn off ice and potentially try to X Factor Botswoon, but I don't know how comfortable you are with that.
80%.
Yeah,
Never-
well,
never done that in my life.
I pointed that out on commentary. So in that situation, I don't farm and I just do X Factor.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Yeah.
it'd be beautiful. I love that.
Oh yeah, I really liked the end of the Dragon fight. I accidentally upsparked, and it was enough to kill her.
Yeah, it was a beautiful uppercut right to the jaw, just like broke Dragon in half.
Yeah, I just grapple killed.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I can short charge in that room, but like I think it's probably just a lag or whatever. But
The lag does make it very strange.
I try and it never happens.
Yeah, you missed the first one, and then you just went for the grapple kill
Yeah,
after.
Yeah.
I'm only ever going to do one spark there if
And
I
then
get
got
the charge.
something like 5 swoops in a row.
Oh
Did
no.
I? I mean,
It was pretty bad, yeah.
I think you got a couple extra, but
Mm-hmm.
no, it was all good. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
What am I doing here? What is happening?
Crazy seed, and then-
Is this the reality that we're living in?
Well, it's a heck of a tournament performance
Yeah.
so far. You're moving on to the finals. You're awaiting the winner of MM2 Nest Cartridge and Audra, probably to be played tonight, that second semifinal, and then you're going to be sitting tight for tomorrow, so you can stew in your anxiety for a little bit longer. And this Cinderella run, the glass slipper still fits, folks. DJ going from sort of 0 to hero in terms of your progression of Super Metroid. It's been really, really excellent to watch. So, yeah, heck of a set. Thank you so much for an excellent race. Congratulations to both of you. I think Glove, just for positioning and cash prizes, you still have the opportunity to play for third.
Yeah.
So still some races ahead for both of these runners. And I don't know if it's on the schedule at this point yet. No, we still don't have our other semifinal confirmed from one of the runners. Actually, both runners sitting behind me. So we do not have that second semifinal on the schedule, but keep your eyes peeled for that. We hope to see that really soon. They've been busy with SMZ3 and some other things today.
Yeah.
So I'll get that second semifinal to you real quick, and then that final tomorrow. Should be really exciting.
Thanks. Thank you, too, for the commentary. Shout out to my boy Jester over here, who I made Glove and Zeb shout him out because I was like, I've done like 2 or 3 commentaries. I haven't said his name once. Like, Super Metroid Randomizer as a product on the stream is better because he exists. He's the GOAT.
Absolutely.
He's the GOAT.
Well, anything else, Derp? It's been a great time calling commentary with you. Thank you so much for your knowledge and insight as an experienced runner and also a Dash dev. It was great to have you beside me in the commentary booth.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said everything. You've covered all I wanted to say. Just good luck to all 4 runners who still will be playing tomorrow. And I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, very excited. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes running the AV desk and keeping our runners set up and keeping the stream going. Thanks to everyone in chat for engaging. Got some nice big grades, got some good interaction. Keep your eyes peeled. Got a second semifinal. We got our final and our third place race still coming up. So thanks very much, and we will see you next mission.